Hello, baby girl. You come pay me a visit? Hey, Phil, how you doing? I beg your pardon. It's bad enough I have to smell you. I don't need to listen to your farting as well. It's bad enough with you snoring. I think that's pretty much the best I can get. That stream. Okay. Let me just see if that's working. Good morning. That looks the business. There we go. I think that's pretty much as good as I can get it for you. Zoom in a little bit. Yeah, not too bad, not too bad. I'm going to take it easy today, I think. Just trying to get the stream right for the TikTok guys. It could well be. It's up on the day. So it's now currently, it's just broke sixes. I can't trade it yet. I've got to wait 7 minutes before I can trade. Bit of a pain, but what are you going to do? I think there's a couple at IVDA, SFBM, and BBAI all seem to be good candidates today. Need to map out the yesterday's highs. Already mapped out. Ah, yeah, happy days. Already mapped out. It's good. I shall just wind this down slightly. Oh, wind it up slightly. Just trying to get the picture right. There you go. I think that's as good as I'm going to get it today. If you don't like it, hard lines. Yes, Phil. Not too bad today. Liverpool won. with a 2-goal cushion going to Anfield. Now we've just got to beat Manchester City on Sunday. So that's Liverpool being my football team of choice. Has been for my long-suffering self, has been for many years, 40-odd years. Yeah, well, I've got one of those sneaking suspicions. It's going to be it's going to be a nil. It won't be a boring game because they're two very attacking teams, but I think it's going to be a 0-0, which be a draw or a 2-2. I mean, last few games between the two teams have been a draw, so. Yeah, I started supporting them early 80s, I think it would have been. I'd have been about 6, 7 years old. Show my age now, giving my secrets away. I know I only look like a teenager, but I don't know what's going on with the stream. It's not pushing anything out. Why have I only got one like? Guys, you're in the stream and you've not even given me a like. I think you should know by now that the rules are: you come on the stream, you tap the screen 10 times. I get 10 likes for every visitor. That's what it should be. Oh yeah, Rush Souness. So Souness was the name that I used to be. I used to call out. I was Graham Souness on the schoolyard when we were playing football and during dinner break. I was Souness. So it was that. Really was. I started supporting them beforehand, but what really got me into it was that the Milk Cup final against the League Cup final against Manchester United, and Souness was one of the scorers. So. Yeah, everybody wanted to be Rushy, so I went Souness. I think that there was, I had to kind of flex my weight at the time just to be Souness, but it was Rushy. Obviously, whoever was in goal was Grobbler. Rushy. Nobody wanted to be Sammy Lee because whenever there was sort of a name left over, nobody ever wanted to be Sammy Lee. But well, Barnsley was a little bit later, but he was towards the end of the 80s. What a player, John Barnes! What a player, underrated. I mean, he doesn't get the credit for his ability. He was a great player in a very poor England side in the late 80s. Only when you got to kind of 1988, 89, where you started to get some really a decent England team, because like 86 to kind of 82 to 86 was just poor. 86 onwards, it started to get better. Lineker became into the fore, and Beardsley was a great player as well. Gutted when he went across Stanley Park. He's the sort of player you play him even in a plastic cast. Great player. Don't go without me, SBFM. That's not moving. That's not moving. There's not a lot on volume today, being honest. So SBFM for a continuation might be worth a shout. I was surprised it didn't get over 7 yesterday based on the catalyst as well. Yeah, but that team was quality. The Keegan team, Beardsley, Cole, Ferdinand. He tried to build. It was like he tried to build a Newcastle team primarily with Newcastle players and a few additions. Hey, Nicholas. Afternoon, Darren. Pity there was no good Newcastle defenders, otherwise they could have been a real threat. I'd love it if we beat them. I'd love it. They've got to go there and get something, and I'd love it. I'd love it if we beat them. Yay! Right, okay, where are we? I'm going to just take 1,000 shares there. A nice little starting position with SBFM. Pre-market high here of 640. I want to get up there now. Well, it didn't get back up above that 650 level that we were looking for. 640 is the pre-market high, so I'm just going to mark that out. There. And it's the $0.50 level. Yesterday's high, pre-market high. No, actually, it was the open, wasn't it? 680. Phil, it doesn't matter. It's about whilst you're getting practicing the strategies and getting used to trading. There might not be as much emotion involved, or the psychological element, but it's the practice element. So be disciplined on your cutoffs and your stop losses, etc. How can we find what big people are buying or selling? What the activist investors? There's a lovely website that you can use. That I use as well. But Google is your friend. I did. I traded. I was starting to trade as I finished the stream. I was starting to trade LGVN. And we were 2,000, just 1,800 was the trade profit and loss on the day when we finished. So we were because of the couple of losses that I took as well. We were just over 900. 918 was, I think, was the net profit on the day. Yesterday was green. I mean, a green day is a good day, and that's the main thing. So I was a bit disappointed because we were over $5,000 up at one stage. So five grand on an 11K account is fantastic achievement. So I should have just cut it. And I was guilty of over trading and getting greedy, and I thought, okay, there was some good setups yesterday, and then I gave back off the top. What's the platform I use? I'm using Daytrading Pro, and yes, it works. You can get, I believe there's a version that works for MacBook as well. You'll be Tony'd out, Alistair. You'll be absolute Tony'd out. Yeah, absolutely. I've got the website, but I'll show you that. I'll show you that later. What's the best paper account to use? If you can get a paper account with whichever platform you plan on trading with, that's probably the best one to use. So if you plan on trading with Sterling Trader, Get a paper account, get a use that as your simulator as well. If you're going to trade with Dash Trader like I am, use that as your simulator. If you're going to trade with Think or Swim, use Think or Swim as your simulator. That way you get used to, you can actually set it up the way you want. You can get used to trading on that platform. If it's MetaTrader, trade with MetaTrader. I'm not keen on MetaTrader for stocks, but you get where I'm going with it. No, I didn't. I just watched it. I got caught in the rain this morning. DAS, DAS Trader. DAS. It's an acronym for Direct Access Software. You don't need a business account. I would recommend, if you're going to be, to start off with, you can just open up a personal account with a broker. And that's what I did. But once you start getting profitable, I would recommend trading in under an LLC or a limited liability company. So set yourself up in as a, not a sole trader, because then you're liable for everything, but you set yourself up at a limited liability company, a limited company that you are the only director of. You're the owner, founder, CEO, whatever. And that way it works. It will work out better for you on that basis. So watching SST as well, that's starting to move back up again. Low volume now from yesterday. We're just taking a starter position with SBFM. $4.94, $5.94 rather. Just consolidating again. Really would have liked to have got in here. 590s for the break of 6, but you can't. Beggars can't be choosers. Have to wait till. Do you know the gap and go strategy? I use it every day, Sancho. I use it every single day. Why am I in this trade? It's a continuation from yesterday. We entered this trade for the break of this resistance point at 615. Didn't break. Went up there a couple of times, pulled back to the VWAP, and then moved up. I couldn't trade it up until at this point. So as soon as it made this pullback, I waited for it to break high. I could have got in here for the new high there at 608, but I got in at 613. I think it is 614. So that's why I'm in. It's just a starter position. Potential move upwards on a continuation from yesterday. What's a good broker? Interactive are good. I use Capital Markets. They're an offshore broker. Some people are a bit wary of offshore brokers, but I use them for my active day trading. I use interactive brokers for much of everything else: swing trading, options trading, and my retirement account and stuff. That's what I use interactive for. But for my active day trading account, I use Capital Markets. I don't recommend Trade Zero because I've never used them. I've used Trade. Don't recommend them either. 212 I've heard good things about, but there's a huge waiting list. The options for traders in the US are much better than they are here in Europe. Because you get direct access to the markets, one, they give you more leverage, and for active traders, you can get better leverage too. Commission-wise, they're not extortionate either. Three. So there's a number of reasons why I like them for day trade, and they carry the full depth of the market because you're using direct access software. You get the full depth of the market. Avida Solutions, the catalyst on Avida Solutions, the reason they're trading up right now is they've announced its products have been specified into Taiyuan Aerotropolis project. That's why Avida's gapping up. Got Avida on the watch list. I've got SBFM, BBAI. Webull, well, it's commission free. So what the thing is with Webull again, it's payment for order flow. So they route you. Yes, interactive. You can trade it in an ISA with interactive, absolutely. But Webull, it's commission. It's not direct market access, but you can be a more active trader with Webull because it's commission free. So if you're trading with right, okay, I'll just get out of that. So I just gave it 20 cents, started position for 20, and it dropped below. So I'll wait for a proper entry, and I'll address the chat. Well, we've not really done much today, Jason. Not yet. We're just waiting for the action to roll in. We're expecting. Well, it looks like SBFM might have a continuation day to day. It's not gapping up as such on the day. It's only like 6% up at the moment, but it's 6% up on reasonable volume. 2.1 million shares traded already, so it's high relative volume. The problem with the majority of the gappers today is the gapping up and they're not gapping up on big volume. Yeah, interactive, you can trade in an ISA or you can trade in a retirement account as well. So which is why I kind of like them. I've got actually I've got two cash accounts with them. I use one for trading and I use one for options as well. So I keep my options and my trading accounts separate. It depends. I always have a caveat that what's the blue line is the volume weighted average price, the VWAP. You get taxed if you withdraw. If you leave it in there, then it's fine. You've got a certain amount that's tax free. Hey, Husey. Well, 2 days in with green, two green days. A decent green day on Monday, small green day yesterday. So after last week, it was yes. Last week was a bit of a catastrophe, but we're looking to make amends. Yes, Catchy. Check the link tree in my bio. First link on my link tree. The thing with interactive as well, Phil, they give you a choice of platforms you can trade on. You can trade on the Trader Workstation, which is their own platform. They don't have any platform fees for that, but they will charge you for live data. And if you're going to pay for live data, you may as well pay just a little bit more and get a better platform like a Sterling Trader, which interactive you can use with interactive, I believe, or Dash Trader. You can definitely use Dash Trader with interactive because I do. I don't trade the options with Dash Trader. I use the interactive options chain. So if you're an options trader, interactive for me has been the best broker for options in the UK and Europe that I've experienced so far. The high of that is 605. Let's have another look at SST. This is the one that got me into trouble yesterday because it was low volume. It's high relative volume, but it's low volume per se. It's not a liquid stock. And as traders, we really want to be searching the liquid stocks. What I mean by liquid stocks is stocks that are traded, that are readily traded, that are highly traded. NASDAQ is down quite a bit. It's selling off since the close yesterday, the NASDAQ. In fact, it's been selling off since the open yesterday. Had a good day on Monday, and then it's been selling off ever since. It started selling off at the close on Monday, and it's been selling off pretty much ever since. So that's the NASDAQ's down for you. But it's down 1.5 points. 1.5%, should I say. SPY, it's a similar situation. It's only down a percentage point, but it's been selling off since the open yesterday. So the wider markets are in a bearish mode today. They're in selling mode today, the market. How that's going to affect us, we'll see. Yeah, the whole NASDAQ looks red at the moment. So we're just looking for the stocks that are trending against the market. Otherwise, it might be a shorting day today. Something novel. Watch me shorting stock. Yes, Amazon went down, and so did pretty much everything. So Amazon sold off yesterday. It's down today as well, 1.5% with the rest of the wider market. So the whole Nasdaq's down today, and Amazon followed suit. This is Amazon as it stands. This if I go on the daily, on the 60-minute, this was Amazon yesterday. Gareth. So Amazon yesterday did nothing but sell off all day. Little bounce at the close, and then so it's down again today. So that's your Amazon. Microsoft, similar pattern, as you can see. This is Microsoft. It started yesterday morning, pre-market, the sell-off, and then never looked back. It's just complete sell-off. That's the Nasdaq for you at the moment. It's terrible. It's absolutely terrible at the minute. Let's see if even Tesla sold off yesterday. So Tesla had that rally based on the news of a potential stock split, but even Tesla sold off yesterday. So the whole Nasdaq's down. Could well be, Darren. I don't think I'm going to be shorting it based on the moves it made yesterday, though. And it's tried to make a move up, and it's up on the day, so it's moving upwards today. So it's not on my short list unless it really starts to look bearish. Are there any sticks that are die, Gareth? I don't know what you mean. I'm assuming you mean stocks instead of sticks, but what do you mean by die? Hey, Cornfakey. Crypto Buddha. Okay. Thanks for the advice. I'll go out and I'll take all my hard-earned savings and I'm going to put it into Bitcoin, and that's it. Thanks for that. Twitter's not actually too bad. Sold off yesterday as well. So if we look at Twitter on the 60-minute, so this is Twitter yesterday. It sold off yesterday. So pre-market, we got up to 50, 55 almost. Tip 55, 54.94. So right on the precipice of 55, and then it sold off from the open onwards. But it didn't have the kind of sell-off that we saw with the Nasdaq. So Twitter held most of its gains. So when it was announced Elon's taken over a 9% shareholding or stakehold, this is what we got. We got this initial pump, and then the rally on Monday. It continued into pre-market yesterday, then sold off. But the reason it sold off was following the wider market. But because of the strength of the previous catalyst, it didn't sell off at the same rate that, for example, the Nasdaq did. You see the difference? And that's the Nasdaq, and that's Twitter. A little bit of a sell-off, but nowhere near as much. No worries. Appreciate you stopping by, Cornfakey. Stocks that are doing well at the moment. So I've got BBAI, which is BigBear.ai. That's up pre-market. Avida Solutions, which is IVDA, that's up pre-market. Those are the only ones that are really up on reasonable or relative high volume. The rest is a little bit struggling. There's a lack of volume today, pre-market. And we really need the volume. Without the volume, there's no trades. Okay, BioCell, BTAI is just hitting the scanners. Let's have a look at this one. FDA approval. And it's good relative volume. Not good volume, but good relative volume. Let's have a look at. Just popped up. FDA approval. So that can go on the watch list. You back? Would you like a treat? Let me see how many likes I've got. Okay, guys. If we can get over 2,000 likes, I'll give the dog a treat. You've got to ask. You've got to ask TikTok if you can have a treat or not. You will sit down. The dog wants to know if she can have a treat. If we get over 2,000 likes, you can. I'll give the dog a treat. So it's on you guys. Starving my dog. You don't wag your tail at me, looking all cute. Look, they obviously wanted. They didn't want you going hungry. Here, have a treat. There you go, sweetheart. She's a good girl. Good morning, Diego. How's the Miami? What's the weather like in Miami today? What's the ticker on Southwest Energy, Gareth? Gosh, I can take a look, Diego. Well, it's not looking good. This is Gush. There's no volume on Gush. Let me have a look at the. I'll show you on the daily. So this is the 60-minute. Gush had a sell-off on Monday. Bit of a rally into the close. Sell-off yesterday. Not so much of a rally. So let's see how it goes. It's the daily's not too bad. If you look at the daily, again, it's not something I will be trading, but that's Gush for you, Diego. From an intraday perspective, it's not looking great. Just lacks volume. From a daily point of view, from a short to medium term swing, it's got a strong daily chart over the last month or so. Last couple of days, it's sold off, but you get that occasionally. Question it, and it's up today slightly, ever so slightly, kind of 2.2%. I'm not sure, Frankie. Not sure about Twitter today. It'll be bucking the Twitter. Twitter goes up today. It looks like it's going to be fighting against the tide because the whole Nasdaq's down right now, and it will be. What I would say is it's selling off in tandem with the Nasdaq. Not as big as the Nasdaq, but it is selling off in tandem with the Nasdaq. So just be careful. Have a look at the wider markets. If you see a bit of a turnaround in the wider market, there's blood in the water at the minute with the wider markets. Look at the SPY. It's look at the 60-minute on the SPY. If you look at that, there's blood in the water pre-market. Sold off all yesterday. The same with the Nasdaq. It's not looking great at the moment, and I wouldn't expect Twitter to buck that trend. That's the problem. If you're looking at Twitter to be the one that bucks that trend, it's really got to outperform those the wider markets, and I think it's facing an uphill battle today. So just watch the wider markets. If we get a turnaround with the wider markets, then I can see Twitter Twitter having a bit of a turnaround. There's your 8 o'clock scrum. Do I have a volatility adjusted position sizing model? No. I look for volatility. I want volatility. Higher the volatility, the better as far as I'm concerned. That's why we make our money. No problem, Frankie. Did I use anyone, or I went the long way and I paid the market for my tuition. So if you want to learn, like I say, everybody that's asked me to, if I have a course to learn, how do can I teach them? Is there any mentoring? Just check out the link in my bio. It is the course. I put that course specifically on the bequest of this stream, believe it or not. But I put that course together, and the people that are on it now, the people that have subscribed to it, seem to be getting a lot out of it. So if that helps, great. Well, your position sizing is different depending on your stocks. If you've got a certain level of equity and you want to be taking a higher position size, you want to be looking for lower price stocks. So it's not so much the volatility that you should be gauging your position size on. It's you know, what is it you're looking for from that particular trade. So if you're looking for to make $100 on a trade that's trading at $4, and you're going to take, how many shares do you need to take? What kind of range is it ranging in terms of volatility? Is it likely to do a 25-cent move? If it's likely to do a 25-cent move, then you need to size accordingly. What app do I use? I'm using Daytrader as a if you're wondering what platform I'm actually trading on. So this here is Daytrader. This is just one of the windows I've got open on Daytrader, and this is the P&L underneath it in the middle of the screen there on TikTok. The scanners, these scanners, different platform. This is Benzinga Pro. These scanners let me know what. So you can see on the momentum, the momentum's to the downside. Tesla's down, Microsoft down. They're trying to make a move upwards, but Ethereum's down. Tilray's got earnings announcements today, so I've got Tilray on to watch because Tilray's got earnings announcements later today. And I think they've just a pre-conference call. They've Q3 financial results are the good results, so Tilray might make a move today. Tesla is moving with the market. We just watch the wider market. If the market continues to sell off, then you can take some. You can short the bigger stocks that are following the market, likes of Tesla and Microsoft and Amazon, etc. High volatility mean buying and selling profits. Absolutely means you're getting a better range to profit from. You mean SBFM? SNFM is I think that's a different stock, Phil, but SBFM's moving. Yeah, let's have a look at what SNFM is. That's not even a stock, but there you go. I understood what you meant, Phil. Absolutely. Let's have a look at the 1 minute. Yeah, that's making a nice move up. We need 615, then we're interested. We've just broken the VWAP, come back down to the VWAP, tested a support at 590, then we might be interested. Well, I'm only on the one keyboard, but I'm on four monitors, so I feel your pain. I calculate my position sizing manually for every trade. Absolutely, I do. And I don't use percentile risks. I manually calculate my risk as well. I look at the range because a different stock, a rangy stock that's got a big spread will have a bigger risk associated to it. So you've got to and you've got to size accordingly in terms of your risk as well. So if you've got a wider spread, you've got to factor that into your position size. So how much you prepared to give it. There's a lot of different factors you put into it when you're actually entering a trade. So you plan your trade ahead of time, how much you're going to give it, how much wiggle room in terms of risk you're going to give it, so that you know maybe I'm going to risk $2,000 on this. Maybe I'm only going to risk $250, whatever the scenario may be, and then you size accordingly to the risk. Because if you're looking for a 20-cent move, you would then be risking 10 cents the other way. If your spread on the stock is 5 cents and you're wanting a 20-cent move, then that 10 cents you're actually then looking for. You want more than 10 cents because you've got to factor in the range of the stock as well. So a 20-cent move upwards on the ask, and it's got a 10-cent, 5-cent range. You're only going to get 15 cents when you press the button if that ask hits it. So you need to factor that in as well. I'm speaking too quickly. Can't even breathe. So there we go. So now we've got this $6 level acting as resistance that we need to get over. So 605 is the level on SBFM if that's going to make a move. By the way, if you're wondering what all this spike is here, top to bottom on this candle, this is the algorithmic trading, what I call the 8 o'clock scrum. It happens on every stock. It happens every day. 8 o'clock, you get this algorithmic surge in volume, and it's just the market makers clearing the order books from the previous day. How long have I been trading? Well, since I got locked down in the pandemic. What broker am I using? I'm using Capital Markets. So I've got a while to go. Yeah, I've got 90 minutes before the market opens, so an hour and a half before the market opens. I can give you my thoughts on ATAI. It's going to cost you 10 likes, though. Well, there's nobody trading it, for one. So that's the 1 minute chart. If you look at the 5 minute chart, it's not done anything since that. Let's look at the 60 so we can see what it's like over the last while. It's very sideways. Let's have a look at the daily. Yeah, it's very, very sideways. We've got this kind of flat bottom forming here around $5. But we've got a descending wedge, descending triangle. So that's kind of very bearish. With ATI, it's not looking very strong. On the daily, you've got this descending triangle. If I just draw this rail line, got this descending triangle down here, and then you've got this kind of horizontal base to it. At $5. I mean, it does break through it, but you've got to understand that support and resistance is an area. It's not down to the individual cent, if you will. But if you look at this resistance level of around $5, this descending wedge, typically these descending wedges, flat bottoms, they break downwards. And the higher the time frame, the more reliable it is. So I could see this potentially breaking downwards. it starts to kind of coil at this level, I'm not very hopeful on ATAI right now, if I'm being honest. Who sent that? I do trade options, just not intraday. And I use Interactive Broker. I use the options chain with Interactive as opposed to Dash Trader, a different platform. When I say clearing the books, what does that entail? Basically, the market makers will have orders that they've already agreed the prices on, and they will buy and sell at those prices, and they get all these orders in from the close of business the previous day or overnight or whatever it is, and then 8 o'clock they put all those on the books, and it just, you get this huge spike in volume. It happens on every stock. What size account did that's a good question. So I started with I think when I first deposited, it worked out about $12,000 was my first deposit, and I blew that account up. I then deposited $5,000, blew that account up. Then it was like $7,000, I think it was, and I blew that account up again. The next time was, so I lost about $25,000-$30,000 in the first instance, in the first 6 to 8 months, like five to 7 months or something. The back end of 2020, I lost, let's say $25,000 to $30,000. It was up and down, of course, but I lost all that money, and it was only when I got into 2021 that I started to become profitable. And just know that you will lose money. Everybody loses money. It's unavoidable. It's the wrong one. Where's my trading view? Why is my trading view not working? Oh, that's right. Stupid Microsoft and their automatic updates. Apple. Yeah, that's the same. So on the 60-minute, you can see Apple sold off with the rest of the market. Yesterday was a bloodbath, and it's continued into the out of hours. It's just not great at the minute. The wider market, the whole sell-off at the minute is very bearish. So what happens? So 605 was the level it wanted to come down to the VWAP. I'm getting at 605, and we could have actually got in for this candle here at $6, but because we got this little increase in volume here. But 605, and we could have rolled that up to 620. So we could have got a 15-cent move on that. But do you not think it's just all rigged? No, I don't. I'm not into conspiracies like that. It is rigged, absolutely. The more money you have, the more money you can make. That's how it's rigged. So us, Joe Public, Joe six-pack retail traders with small accounts, the odds are stacked against us. Absolutely 100% the odds are stacked against us. Which is one of the reasons why the majority of people that put money into the markets lose money. 95% of people that day trade, regardless of what instrument it is, lose money in the markets. So just be wary of that. It's not rigged in terms of systemically rigged. It's just rigged to the big money. So you have to trade with an edge. And which is why I trade pattern breakouts, which gives me the edge, or gives me an edge. Yes, it is all over the place at the minute, so don't trade it. You look for good setups. Right now, there's no real good setups with the SBFM. I entered when I was able to trade. I entered it. It was moving up quite well, so I just took a starter trade to see if it continued to move up. It didn't. I got just give it 20 cents just to see if I could get a cushion on it as it moved up. But it's not. It's very rangy today. It's very choppy. So don't trade it unless it starts to exhibit a particular trend. So if you look here, blue line, everybody's keeps asking what the blue line is. The blue line is the VWAP. That's the acronym is volume weighted average price. Now the VWAP is a great intraday trend indicator. What I mean by that is if the candles are forming consistently forming above the VWAP on any given time frame, that means it's in an upwards trend. If the candles are forming underneath the VWAP, then it's in a downwards trend. If what you see it like this, and on the 5 minutes it's even more evident, you see that it's now ranging up, and it's above, it's below, it's above. That's just a sideways ranging market. And those sideways ranging markets, you're going to lose money on them. They're very difficult to trade. You want to be taking a stock when you're taking your stock selection, making your stock selection. You want to be taking a stock that's, adhering to either an upwards or a downwards trend, depending whether you're long or short. So don't trade something when it's ranging up and down around the VWAP. It's just not worth it. The market makers are the puppet masters, absolutely. Options you can trade. You can trade options in the UK. You just can't trade with a UK broker. That's the difference. So if you go to Interactive, for example, I trade options with Interactive. Now they're regulated in Cyprus. So if you're trading options with Interactive, it's regulated under the Cypriot Financial Regulation Authority, or whatever it's called. So it doesn't matter with the UK. The same way as you can trade with a number of brokers that are based outside of the UK. $5K is enough to trade options, absolutely. $5K is enough to trade. I put it into context, Master Flow. I did a challenge in February where I started with just under 5,000. And it was to try and grow it as quickly and as aggressively as possible in the month of February. And I finished February 74,000 in profit. So the account balance was over 79,000 at the end of February. So 5,000, once you've got a good profitable strategy and you're disciplined enough to execute against that strategy, then yeah, 5,000 is enough to start with. Best trading simulator. That was asked to me earlier, and it depends on what you're planning on trading on. If you're going to be trading on Dash Trader, then use the Dash simulator. Practice on the same platform that you plan on trading on going forward. Otherwise, you're going to have to learn a new platform when you start trading for real. There's a number of simulators that I like, but even TradingView, if you just wanting to get a foothold in the market, you can go into TradingView. There's a paper trading account in TradingView that's free. So you can try that just to get your feet wet, get your toes wet. And once you are ready to execute against strategy, once you've got a strategy you think that's working, then move to a real simulator that's got direct access, live data, because the free simulator in TradingView is delayed data as well. So just remember, if you're getting a free simulator, the likelihood is it's delayed data. there's a number of options, no pun intended. There's a number of options for options trading. Google is your friend. No, Lem, I mean, you can have your conspiracy theories and stuff, and there is market manipulation that's been going on for decades. But, you know, it's not at the level that people think it is. I mean, if you go onto Wall Street Bets or Reddit or, you know, on Wall Street Bets and stuff with the whole AMC, GME debacle, the market manipulation is not as nefarious as they try to make out. They start talking about dark pools, which sounds very nefarious, and it's not. The dark pools are actually a good tool in the market. They're a good thing for the market. But, you know, the problem with the market is it's weighted towards the rich, weighted towards the wealthy. Because if you've got a big account, you can make money with it. There's no doubt in my mind, if you've got $1 million account, if you've got a 7-figure account, you can make money every single day. There's no doubt about it. And you can make money on every single position if you are prepared to take the risk. But your risk-reward ratios go right out of the bat. So if you are, like most retail traders, trading with a relatively small account, then you don't have that edge. You can't average your position down, wait for it to bottom out, and then average your position down to get a small bounce, like a dead cat bounce, for example, and finish green on a particular trade. You don't have that size of account to be able to do that. So that's why it's heavily weighted towards the big institutions and the people with the big money. And also the big institutions that with the algorithmic trade and the high frequency machines, they can take advantage of the spread that we can't take advantage of as well. So if you've got a spread that's like 2 cents or even a 1 cent spread, they're actually taking advantage of micro amounts within the spread, and we can't do that. So BTI is now above the VWAP. Big Bear is below the VWAP. %, the system is corrupt. You're absolutely right. Totally agree. Well, let's have a look at Bitcoin for you, shall we? Well, Bitcoin is below 45K now. Oh, that's not what I wanted to see. So with the wider market sell-off, we're seeing Bitcoin have a bit of a sell-off. So Bitcoin is below 45K now. Let's have a look on the... Let me just pull this up so you can actually see it. So this is Bitcoin on the... This is on the daily chart. Oh, sorry, hourly chart. So Bitcoin right now, 44,900. Needs to make a bit of a turnaround, get back above 45. Otherwise, we're not going to go on that bullish run. I want to see it over 50. Ethereum, 3,300. Just remember, trading is risky, guys. Don't follow me. I'm not giving stock picks or signals. Don't follow me. Don't follow anyone blindly. And don't pay for signals in a Discord, because they know the people who are giving out these signals in a Discord, they don't know anything anyway. They can't predict what the market's going to do. Otherwise, they wouldn't be making millions and millions. They're just doing exactly what you can do yourself. Is they're doing a bit of technical analysis, maybe a bit of fundamental analysis, and they're speculating what something may do. The best thing that you can do, rather than paying for signals and trying to take shortcuts for in chat rooms and discourse, because I've done that and lost money doing that, is learn how to read the charts yourself, learn how to spot the areas of support and resistance, do the technical analysis and the fundamental analysis even. Learn how to do it yourself, and you don't have to pay for those alerts because you'll be able to see it yourself. Your money would be better spent on educating yourself and learning a skill rather than trying to take shortcuts where the majority of these guys that are selling signals and alerts they don't know what they're doing. Last year, I was in one of these chat rooms last year, funnily enough, and it was an audio chat room. And I had on YouTube, I had one channel on YouTube. I don't know whether it was Benzinga or something else. I had it on YouTube, and I was listening to that, and I was listening to this chat room, and they had the same chat room, and they were just repeating what they heard from this YouTube chat room that I was also in. I'm like, that is well shady. You know what I mean? You're charging people for signals and alerts that you're actually just getting off this free channel on YouTube. It was well shady. So just be careful about trying to cut corners. There are no shortcuts. You can't cut corners. It's like any job. It's like any career path. You try and cut corners, you're going to get sacked. The problem with trading is if you try and cut corners, you might not get sacked because you're working for yourself, but you'll lose money. So that wider sell-off on the, I mean, this is the wider sell-off on the hourly chart, and it's just painful to look at. Look at it on the 15 minutes, so it's that's 30, 15 minutes, so you can look at it. It's a bit more palatable. 30 actually gives it more context because you can see it's selling off all day yesterday, and then had a bit of a rally after hours and then sold off again. So there's blood in the water, guys. Just be careful. Keep an eye on the scanners. Nothing moving at the moment. I think a lot of people are just staying out of the markets right now, looking for a turnaround, looking for a bounce. See if we can spot the bottom. And that's just, it's a while since I've seen the markets like that. And to be fair, what are we looking at? What was Friday? Was Wednesday. Since Wednesday last week, it's been selling off. Yeah. So the wider market's been selling off since Wednesday. Had a bit of a rally beginning of this week, but it's been selling off since Wednesday last week. I don't mind a bit of a pullback, a consolidation, if you will, but down at 447 on the SPY, I can't see it's got to not fall below kind of 440s. Otherwise, we're really in bearish territory there. Let's have some tunes. Whilst we're waiting for some action, we may as well listen to some action. Ray's making a move up now. I did say that this was going to move simply because of good Q3 earnings posted. Not much range to take advantage of, though. That's the problem. If you look at the 15-minute chart, 15-minute scanner, the momentum scanner here, we've got 3-4%. It's next to nothing. There's no volatility there. That's just stagnation. Even if we've got some big moves with these two, Dakota Gold, where did that come from? It's low volume though. So DC, let's have a look at the chart before I pull up the actual fundamentals on it. You can see here DC is currently up, Dakota Gold is currently up 42% on the day, but just look at all these blanks, the lack of volume that we're getting here. It's total volume today, 240,000 shares traded since yesterday's close. Now this was only listed yesterday, so it's not, we can't trade that. And if I look at Tuffin, which is the other one, this is Tuffin. Look at the 5-minute. You see this? This is usually attributed to a reverse stock split or an acquisition. So you get this initial pump on the announcement, and then it just trades. So let's have a look at what it is. It's either a reverse stock split or an acquisition. Let's have a look at the what it's actually saying to us on the news. Eventually. So yeah, so it's an acquisition play. So Tuffin Software Technologies stock surges on reports of a 570 million bid by River Capital. So that's why. So that's typical of that formation. There is either a reverse stock split or a acquisition. So we can't trade that. That's the two, and that one. Those are the two top gappers at the moment. We can't trade them. There's no trades there. And after that, we've got this one, which is just ranging. So again, if we're looking on the 5-minute, you see how it's ranging around the VWAP, sideways trading. So it's too risky to trade that. Got buy or sell, BTAXI. Again, it had this initial pump, and now it's just ranging either side of the VWAP. Can't trade that. It's got this little narrowing wedge, so it's going to break one way or the other. Then we've got Aveda Solutions is the next one, and that's below the volume weighted average price, so that's selling off. That's in a downwards trend. and has been since it pumped up initially. So if you look at the 30-minute chart, for example, it pumped up to kind of 480s, and then it's been selling off ever since. So no trade there for me either. We're just really struggling to find stocks to trade today. Might be one of those no trade days. It could very well be a no trade day if that's the case. So we'll see what happens at the open. We've seen this a couple of times last month, where we got some of the energy stocks moved at the open. There was nothing to trade pre-market. So, but it's just the pure lack of volume and volatility at the moment is just, it's going to be a no trade day. Let's have a look at the losers. Going to be loads of these. No, again, there's not. So if you look at the scanners here, the biggest loser is only 13%. So I'm looking for movement. I'm looking for watch list on my stock watch list. I'm looking for things that have moved at least 14%, 15% or more. And Angami is the top one at 13%. So it's a very rangy market right now. Yes, the wider market's selling off, but individual stocks are not really moving with any kind of volatility. The wider market's selling off on, you know, the bigger companies. The large cap stocks are moving a couple of percentage points to the downside, which is the market moving a couple of percentage points to the downside as a result. But there's nothing here I can trade. I can't short these. They're not volatile enough. And if I just look at the volume here. Top one, 15,000 shares traded. 100, there's just no volume. Severe lack of volume and volatility at the moment. So it might be a no trade day. We'll see what happens. Okay, guys, we're yeah, I'll tickle your belly. Okay. I've got your tickly spot, have I? Yeah? Like that? There you go. Come on, guys, let's put the like count up. We've not got a lot else to do, so we're less than 3,000 likes. We're almost at 3,000 likes. Everybody in the stream, just hit the like count. Just hit the tap the screen 10 times. I don't know why the chat's not working on this one, so I'll just have to refresh it because the chat is working. Hit tap the screen 10 times. There we go. Sorry guys, if I miss your chat, the window I had open froze, so I weren't seeing the chat. I've already had a trade. Yeah, that was from looking for a continuation from yesterday, but I didn't get the continuation, so I only risking 20 cents on that one. I'll have a look at Mullen for you. An investment account, it depends what you mean by an investment account. Do you have to have an account with your broker? Absolutely. You can't do this with the bank. If you're talking about, if you've got Revolut or something, you can't day trade with a Revolut account. You need a brokerage account. There we go. We've got the chat's moving again. I'll have a look at Mullen Motors for you. Everybody loves Mullen Motors, but I don't know why. It's 259. It's barcoding at the minute. There's no range on it at all. It's slightly below the VWAP. It's down on the day. It's not having a good time. It's not looking very strong. If I'm looking at on the daily chart's not looking very strong either. So if you look at on the daily, just look at this downwards wedge from the highs. See that? And then we're getting this this level here as well. So it's not looking great. This triangle that's Narrowing triangle. Not looking very strong, Muller, at the minute. Nothing to say that it can't have another good run, but right now it's not looking very strong. 5 minute. As you can see, there's just there's no volume. There's no volatility, no volume. I mean, the range is, average range is like, it's less than a cent. 2 cents or whatever. So there's no way I could profit from that on a day trade basis. So SBFM is coming back down to yesterday's close price, below the VWAP, so it's in a downwards trend. Tilray is the only one that's looking reasonable at the minute. Even then, I'm not feeling that from a volume perspective. Do I trade indices? Index? No, I don't. You can do that, but the reason I don't is because I'll invest in the index. I'll invest in ETFs that are index linked, but I won't trade intraday the index, because the index is a derivative. It's made up of all of the companies that make up the index. So if the index moves 2%, it's because all of those other companies, there's something happening with those other companies that is moving more than 2%. So I would rather trade the individual stocks that make up the index, because you'll get more volatility and you'll get bigger moves that you can profit from. You have to take a lot more risk in terms of leverage to trade the indexes. What do you think about hedging? Hedging's a must if you're investing. You can hedge with options as well, swing trades, if you will. But for intraday trading, day trading, then you concentrate on the move. You're looking to take profits quickly. So you're in and out within few minutes, if that. What's a good broker? I use Capital Markets, and I use Interactive. Capital Markets is an offshore broker. Some people are not comfortable with offshore brokers, but Interactive, if you're not comfortable with an offshore broker, Interactive's a good broker. There are a number of brokers out there. What I would say is shop around, get one that you like, and then stick with it. That's what I do. I trade daily with Capital Markets because they're good to me. They're not the cheapest, but they're not the most expensive either. Do I trade futures? Similar situation with the futures and indices. Same. It's the same question. Using moving averages. I do use moving averages, but not on the smaller time frame. So I use, the only moving average that I would use would be the volume weighted average price. So if I'm trading the 1 and 5 minute, which I tend to do for intraday trading, I'll use the VWAP. If I'm swing trading, for example, if I'm looking at holding something a couple of days, which is, I've got to be honest, is not something I do on every single day, but if I'm holding something a couple of days, I'll look at moving averages. Anything that's interlinked with the hourly or higher time frames, I'll look at moving averages as opposed to the VWAP. The VWAP's less reliable with regards to daily or even weekly time frames, if you will. I'm not only an intraday trader, but that's where I make my money. Yes, so yes, I am an intraday trader. But I do long-term investing. I do value investing. I swing trade. I trade options. I trade crypto. But my main focus is day trading. A win-loss ratio over the last year. I'll have a look. Shall I? Over the last year, where's my trader view? I'll tell you exactly what my win-loss ratio over the last year is. So I've got a 3-to-1. So I've got a profit factor of 3.09 to 1. So my accuracy is 75%. My winning trades and losing it's 23.9%. 13%. It's 1% scratch. So that's my ratios over the last year. Trading 212, I was on the waiting list, but quite frankly, I got tired of waiting, so I've never traded with them. I did like the platform. I got a trial with the platform, but I've never traded with them. Stock 1910. Try interactive brokers. That's where I've got my my accounts. But you don't get leverage on an ISA or a retirement account or anything like that. It's as good as a cash account. How many Tiger tokens do you get for that, Coachman? NWO radio? What do you mean? Don't share that unless you're willing to share your process. I do share my process. I share my process every day. I teach it. That's what my process is what I teach in the course. So I do share the process. The best way to get is practice. Start with TradingView. Learn to chart first and foremost. Start with TradingView. Learn how to do technical analysis. Teach yourself that. If you want someone to teach you, then check out the course in my link tree. If you want to do it the hard way like I did, then there's lots of good channels on YouTube. There's a few good books that I would recommend. For example, How to Trade by Adam Aziz, Day Trading and Advanced Day Trading by Aziz as well. Day Trading by Swing, Day Trading by Folly, all good books to read. Just submerge yourself in it. How do you trade choppy markets? Carefully. It's difficult. Choppy markets like this are very difficult to trade, so which is why I tried to take an opening position for a continuation with SBFM this morning, just 1,000 shares, and I gave it 20 cents, and it didn't go my way. So I thought, okay, I'll wait for a clear setup. But one losing trade could cancel our wins for 10 good trades. You can if you've got a 1 to 10 risk reward ratio. Sounds to me like you're not managing your risk properly. So that's in terms of dollars versus number of trades, right? I'm not sure what you're asking there, Trex Arkans. Yes, the dog's snoring again. She got a couple of treats, so she's happy now. So for those of you that have been asking about my dog, because she was sick a couple of weeks ago and I had her on the antibiotics and stuff, and she had this, we thought it was a UTI, and turns out it isn't a UTI. She's got a much more serious infection, so they wanted to spay her as a result. So I'm trying some Chinese medicine, which has just arrived today, which has been proven to be, or in studies, it's been proven to be 90% effective. So I'm just trying her with that at the minute and see how I get on the next week or two. Otherwise, I'm going to have to get a spay, so no puppies for her. Hey, Crypto Dad, how you doing, buddy? mRNA. I think this is probably going to be there's no volume, but it's down with the wider market. So it's been selling off for a couple of days now. But this is mRNA on the 60-minute. Bloodbath yesterday across the markets, and it's showing no signs of letting up at the moment. So that's down at 150, 157.58. And there's no volume pre-market with that. But if you're in mRNA, batten down the hatches. It will go back up, but it's going to take a while. Just batten down the hatches. Buy at a discount. If you're long-term invested in these high-cap stocks, discount shopping opportunity. Buy the dip, as they say. Yeah, Tilray's up at 10% up now. So I'm waiting for that confirmation. I want it to be at least 15% up gains on the day. So that's what I'm waiting for today. What do I think of the SPY? It's selling off, buddy. What's my entry signal? It depends on the pattern formation. So I look for momentum stocks on the scanners that are either exhibiting strong bearish or strong bullish sentiment. Not seeing that at the moment from anything. And I'm looking for it with good volume, and then I'll look for pattern setups on the price action on the candles, and then I will get my entries. Tilray still climbing. As I say, Tilray is currently 10% up on the day, and I'm waiting. I know I'm missing a huge move here, but I just want confirmation. PFE, you want to have a look at PFE? Price, like the rest, sold off. This is Pfizer, probably one of the worst ones from yesterday. It launched out of the gates up to kind of 52s. It's now at 50.94. So it sold off all yesterday, and it's still selling off pre-market. So they're all the larger cap stocks that are linked to the larger cap market are all selling off this morning. It's a bit of a bloodbath. There's no volume, but there's a bit of a bloodbath at the moment with the wider markets. Mullen Motors, I've already covered Mullen Motors. Tesla's selling off, Nvidia's selling off. They're all selling off at the minute. It's not a great market to be trading. Nice one. Enjoy it, Hutch. So I'm just waiting for momentums now to come into the market. Tilray is the biggest mover, 4% over the last 15 minutes. You can see that on the scanners in front of you. So I've got the momentum scanner, which is 15 minutes, and I've got the gap scanner here, which is the session. So right now, there's nothing moving. To get good momentum, we really want to be moving kind of 7-8% over a 15-minute period. If I get the movement like yesterday, coach, I'll trade it like yesterday. But without the movement, I'm not trading it. I need the volume and the volatility, and I'm not getting that right now. So this is the 5-minute for SBFM. I saw it pop up, so I can't trade. The problem I've got is I can't trade till 7:30. Okay, my 7:30 market time, that is. My broker doesn't open or doesn't allow me to transact until 7:30 market time. So I saw this pump up, got green on the day, and it moved up, and we got some reasonable volume, and then it pulled all the way back down to the VWAP. So this was just before I was able to trade. As it moved up, I looked for the break of high. So it moved up from the VWAP. It continued to move up. I looked for the break of high. I got in there at 6:14 for the break of 6:15. and the move up, it reversed. It was moving kind of choppily for this is a 5 minute. I can do it on the 1 minute. You can see it here. It moved choppily. I gave it a 20-cent risk. I was only in for 1,000 shares, and it pulled all the way back down to the VWAP. So that's where I got it. It went below the VWAP. Now it's above the VWAP. Then it's below the VWAP. So it's very rangy, very choppy. It's not even, the range isn't that big either. I'm going to say rangy. It's not. It's choppy. It's sideways. It's a sideways ranging market. It's very choppy. There's no profits in this from a day trade perspective. In the bigger candles, if you look at this candle, it's kind of 12 cents, 12, 13, 12. If you factor in the spread as well, it's 12 cents. Not even 9 cents. So the range isn't there to profit from at the moment. The volume's not there to profit from at the moment. The volatility's not there. So it's looking, and it's the same on the downside, on the short side, as well as on the long side. If I put the gainers and losers together, you can see that there's not a lot moving with volatility. So the biggest loser today is 11%. So right now it's looking like it's going to be a no trade day unless we get some action at the bell, which is in half an hour. Oh, Angami, I hope you're not holding Angami whoopty scoop. Please tell me you're not holding that. I saw that earlier and it's way down. NGH. So this is Angami on the 1 minute. Look it on the 60. It popped up to kind of 17s yesterday. Well, almost. 1679 was the high. I hope you're not holding bags up there because this is selling off now. Had a good day yesterday, but now it's selling off and it's down at 11. It's down at $12. And I would say that's probably going to continue selling off. So I don't know what the catalyst was for Angami yesterday, but it's selling off now and it's on low volume. So if you look at the 1 minute, it's on low volume, so it'll probably continue to sell off. Do you know what the catalyst was? Whoopty scoop. CVX. I'll have a look for CVX for you. I'll give you. It's not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor, but I'll give you my opinion. No problem at all. There's low volume. So it's had a good month. March was a good month for it. The early part of March. Let me give you the 60 minute and the daily. So this is the 60 minute. So on Monday, it was sideways, but it yesterday pre-market it moved up and then it sold off, which is sort of the wider market as a whole. But if you look at it on the daily, it's actually not looking too bad. So we had this huge move up from February. So it went from kind of 130s up to 175, and then it's been trading sideways since then. So that's not a bad daily chart. On a weekly, it's even better. So it's looking like a decent daily. Got a bit of a drop off in the volume, but it's reasonably strong on the daily. Now, if you're looking at swinging it, who was on that one? CVX for swinging. Depends which way you're going. Are you swinging it up to the upside or to the downside? Are you going to short it, or are you going to go long today? That's the question I would ask you, because if you're it's slightly up on the day, we're about a percentage point up. You let me know. Are you thinking of swinging it to the long side, or are you thinking of shorting it? Do you think this will last, or what's causing it? Well, it's the whole macroeconomics piece, and quite frankly, if you're investing long term, this is an impact that you want to take into account, because you can use opportunities like this to buy at a discount, knowing full well that the market will always recover. It will always recover. I'll just bring up my trading view and look at the SPY. So let me just, that's Twitter. If I just pull up the SPY, which is the S&P 500, and I'll put it on the monthly chart. So this is the SPY since 1994. So over the last 30 years, this is the SPY. You can see it's only going in one direction. You know, we had a couple of dips, but in the long term, so we got this bear market where it lost a huge amount of its gains. 2001. The start of that was the start of that bear market would have been kind of September or 1 really. We're getting that bear market. It then picks up, reaches all-time highs again. We have a crash in 2008. We all know what happened in 2008. The whole, you know, derivatives property crash. That if you've not watched The Big Short, this downward turn here in 2008, that's what the Big Short, what happened with the Big Short. The whole recession is about a 3-4 year recession. If you've not watched the Big Short with Christian Bale, go and watch it. It's a great movie, and it's good insight into market manipulation. Someone's talking about market manipulation, but then even then it picked up, and it took us 4 years, and we're back to all-time highs, and then we've continued to move up. So we had a move up there as well. So as you can see here, we've had dips along the way. Here, 2020. We got February 2020, March 2020, if you will. We've got this dip, which is COVID related, all the way down, and then we went on, and we, you know, later the same year, we're all-time highs again. So the market's only ever going one way. So when you get downward periods like this, buy the dip. Long-term investing, not for day trading. Short it if you can for day trading, but for long-term investing, buy the dip. What order do I use when I'm trading? I use limit orders, and that's what cost me a lot of money yesterday. Is I should have gone in with market orders, because my limit orders have I've got them set that I buy the I buy the bid with a 10-cent margin, and I sell the ask with a 10-cent margin. And yesterday I got caught out with that, because I started trading some spready stocks where the spreads were like 30-40 cents, so I wasn't getting filled. So I got filled, and then when I went to exit, it just blew right past me. So yesterday, you've got to factor that into account, and that was just my mistake yesterday, and that cost me. That was SST yesterday. Cost me quite a bit of money yesterday, because I didn't go in with market orders when I wanted to exit, and I got to my stop level, and I tried to exit, and it blew straight past because I put limit orders in instead of market orders, and I ended up had to press my panic button and exit for a bigger loss than I really wanted. Yesterday, it's about $6,000 down on that particular trade. I think, was it 6 or 5, something like that. $5,000 down on that trade. I think it was 5.8 or something. I've got the details here. I can on my journal. No, it was Allergan that was 6. That was the one. 5,800 down on that one, because it blew right past my stop, because I put limit orders instead of market. But that's what happens. You know, you've got to take all of that into account when you're weighing up your strategy and when you're weighing up your risk. AMD's down as well. Interactive broker AK Clips. UK people use for options. I use interactive brokers. We're getting a bit of movement with Big Bear. Let's keep an eye on that. Twitter's it's selling off. but not as much as the wider market. So if the wider market makes a turnaround, you might get a bit of a continuation from Twitter, but I wouldn't bet on Twitter trading against the market trend. Is probably the best way of putting it. Whilst the market continues to sell off, I can see Twitter continuing to sell off. Yeah, well, AMD trades along with the wider market, with the S&P 5. So that's why it's a strong stock. It's a good company that likes Microsoft and Amazon, and they're all battered at the moment for the last few days. Since Wednesday last week, the whole market's been selling off, and yesterday and today it's really, really bad. Ari, but yeah, but that's a penny stock, isn't it? No. There's no volume on it. It's 12%, it's 13% up is Ari, but there's no volume on it. It's 170 shares trading pre-market. There's no volume at all. And it's not, if I look at the 5 minute here, look at it on the 15, so you'll see the action. It moved up after hours, and then it's been sideways since. So this is Ari. There's no trade there. Not yet. We need to see some volatility come in. So as soon as the VWAP caught up with that initial pump, it's ranging sideways. It's up and above. It's up and above. Up and down. Up and down. So Ari's not a day trading stock right now. Nothing is actually moving with at the levels that we need it to, on the volume we need it to be profitable today. Yeah, so all the markets are selling off at the minute. FTSE's down. They're all down. Let me just have a look. What's the rest of the European markets? So yeah, the DAX down almost 2%. The Hang Seng, the Hong Kong 50, is down 2.5%. FTSE's down 0.25%. The Dow's down 0.7%. Nasdaq's 1.7%. And the S&P 5 is a whole percentage point. So that all the markets are selling off today. And it's a continuation of what they did yesterday. So, like I say, blood in the water. Just be careful, guys. If you're long-term investing, it doesn't really matter. But if you're if you're trying to day trade it, be careful. So why is Ari up so high without any volume? Because that initial pump after hours yesterday, I'll tell you what the catalyst is in a second. So Ari Technology shares are trading higher after the company reported better than expected Q4 sales results. So it's just financial earnings results. That's why it's trading up. It's got a catalyst, but no volume, and the volatility isn't. It's only 12% up, so it needs to gain a little bit, but it needs more volume. Blood in the water, yeah. The sharks are circling, that's for sure. Well, the SPY's above the VWAP now. Nasdaq not so much, but the SPY's trying to make a bit of a turnaround. So I'll just show the SPY, which it's an ETF, it's a spider ETF which mirrors the S&P 500, the wider market. So this is the first green candle on the 1 hourly time frame at the minute. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hours in a row we're red. This is the first one that's turned green. Just barely. So at 9 o'clock. Doesn't mean anything. It can quite quickly turn around at the open. We've got 20 minutes to the open. Yeah, the Nasdaq or triple Q still down. So this is the 1 minute, 5 minute. We're still below. It's still selling off. It's in a downwards trend because it's below the VWAP. If you look at it on the 60 minute, you can see still selling off. It's this 9 o'clock candle on the hourly is the first green candle. It's exhibiting the same trend as the S&P. So we really need a bit of a turnaround today for the wider market. So BBAI is now moving back up again on good volume too. So these right, let's look for an entry. This one's the top gapper. Why is it moving up? I know there's a catalyst, but I can't remember what it was. I think it's to do with employee package or some description from yesterday. Okay, Big Bear AI Holdings Inc. offering to employees via benefits plans. That's why it's gapping up. Now got we're seeing a bit of a move to the upside with IVDA as well. This needs to get back above $4 for me to be interested in that one though. That's a good question. How do I select my stock for the day? So if you look here on the screen, this is my gap list. So this lets me see what's moving, what's gapping up on the day pre-market. I'll change these to regular market when the bell rings, but this lets me see what's gapping up. This is my momentum list. So this is what's moving over the last 15 minutes. I do have a surging scanner as well that you can't see on TikTok, which is 5 minutes and sorted by volume. Then I've got signals and I've got the news feed. So Benzinga is this platform here that I'm using here. This is Benzinga, and this gives me the stocks that are moving on any given day. It'll tell me exactly. So for example, Big Bear AI, I can click this and it opens up this window here and it'll tell me what the news catalysts are. It'll tell me what the key data is. So there's 135 million shares on this one. So it's not a micro float, but if I look at the news, so if I pull this up here, you can see that these news catalysts here tells me exactly what's going on with it at any point in time. So that's where I get my my stocks from. It's Benzinga. There's a link in my link tree. Go and have a look. RBLX. Roblox. Oh, Roblox is down nearly 3%, 2.7%. That's the 1 minute. Let's have a look at the 60 minute. You see, it's pretty much sold. It had a bit of a rally against the market trend yesterday, but it's been selling off with the market the rest of the day. So Roblox 47.73. I wouldn't expect it to have a significant rally today unless the market has a turnaround. That's my own opinion. It's not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Don't sue me. So back to the 1 minute. Back to Big Bear. Okay. So the high of this candle is 1550. Well, break 1550, so the high of that candle's 1550 as well. And potential little bull flag formation here. If it breaks, next candle to break a new high, you could get a bit of a surge in volume for a nice move up. No problem, Korinko. And learn how to select your own stocks. It'll save you paying for signals and alerts in a chat room or a Discord or something. If you learn how to select your stocks. Now, you don't have to pay for Benzinga. For gapping stocks, you can go on to FinViz, or you can use the embedded FinViz in TradingView. You can go on to Yahoo Finance and just do a search around those screeners. And they'll tell you what's moving on what volume, etc., etc. Just beware those free screeners and those free tools. The data is delayed by 15 minutes. So in terms of momentum stocks and surging stocks, you won't get the data in real time. And news breaking as well is delayed data as well. So just be careful for gap and go. Then you can actually find stocks that are moving up and find reasons why with those stocks, but it is delayed data, so you'll get to see roughly how much they're gapping up. The problem with that is if it starts selling off pre-market and you don't notice that, and you go into to buy it at the open, and it could sell off. So it's always better to actually just pay for the subscription. You get what you pay for. So the cost of day trading, I pay for my platform and data fees. I pay for commissions and charges on an intraday basis as I'm trading. I pay for my TradingView, TraderView, which is my journaling platform, and I pay for Benzinga. What else do I pay for? So my monthly outgoings are about between 750 800 bucks a month. Just to put it into context, there's no free dinners, there's no free lunches. There's a cost to everything. Hey Shando, good to have you back. The markets are in turmoil at the minute. This is the SPY. I'll show you the 60-minute. This is the SPY, the wider market. Nasdaq's exactly the same. It's sell-off mode at the minute. Giving it 10 cents risk. When it's 40. Ah, well, I should have took profits while I could. I wanted 20 cents. Giving it 10 cents, I wanted 20. Take profits when I got it. I'll give it 20 to take 40 then. Choppy market today, guys. So the entry there should have been here. I was a little bit slow to the trigger. So what we're looking for is we've got a little bit of a bull flag formation here, and it popped up, but I didn't take profits when I should have done. So that's my lookout. So we get this downwards channel. We get the initial move up, which is your flagpole, and then you get this pullback. And then what we're looking for is the next candle to make a new high on volume, which is this one. So the high of this doji here, and a doji is usually a good indicator, and if I've been paying attention, it's usually a change in sentiment indicator. So this doji, the high of that was 525. So ideally we should have been getting in here at 526. We got in at 544 instead. We've got in 526. We could have rolled it up to the high of that one, which would have been 570, and we didn't. We just weren't quick enough, not paying attention. But that was a bull flag breaker. We could have got a 50-cent swing on that if we'd been a little bit quicker. I'm good, DX. The problem with having the stream is I'm addressing the chat whilst I'm changing the charts and looking at things. So I'm not actually concentrating the way I should do on the action on particular stocks as they move up. So that bull flag breakout, for example, I should have been watching that. As the doji formed, I knew that there was a change in sentiment, and I should have been ready, trigger poised to make this move up here. And then take advantage at 25, 30 cents up or whatever. And then when it pulls back, get out. But that's what happens when you're a man trying to multitask. Thoughts on XRP? I'm bullish on XRP. I'm holding XRP long term. It's just down at the minute. If I just pull up my trading view, I'll put XRP in there. On Binance with Tetherus. So XRP is trading at 79 cents at the minute. So it's, like I say, it's down slightly, but I'm still bullish on XRP. I think it's got great utility. I think it's only got a couple of competitors, 2 or 3 competitors on the blockchain that I think can serve a similar purpose within the finance sector. And with all the new ISO regulations that are being implemented this year, well, the majority this year and some next year, I think XLM and XRP have got quite a good way to go. And what's constant cloud over the XRP coin is the Ripple lawsuit. And if you've been paying attention to the Ripple lawsuit, you'll know that it was a frivolous case for the SEC to bring in the first place. So that's probably going to be finished over the summer anyway. So watch the wider market make a bit of a bull run, and XRP will make a bigger run. That's my opinion. It's not financial advice. Don't take it as financial advice. If you do and lose money, don't sue me. That's all I can do is offer my opinion. That's why I say I would feel guilty if you lost money based on my opinion. So Big Bear is the top gapper at the moment. The rest are not moving. There's very little movement. IVDA made it, but it's again, look at this. It's low volume. I had this little spike up. This one was, I say, huge volume. It's not though. It's 60,000 shares. 60,000 shares on this big candle here. And then it's low volume again after that, so it sells off on low volume. That's IVDA, which is like the next biggest gapper. Tuffin Software. Tuffin's looking. Add Tuffin to the list. It's getting more volume now. No, it's not. It's 2.2 million shares traded. Where were this 2.2 million shares traded? It's 300,000 in that 5 minutes. Let me just see. That's just weird. 300,000 shares traded on that doji. That makes absolutely no sense. 200,000 on, and the range for 200,000 shares traded, and the range is 3 cents, not 2 cents. That's not nice. That's a horrible, horrible looking chart. Yeah, it looks like might be an early bath today. Yeah, well, I think everybody's bearish at the moment with the way the market's looking. I mean, the SPY in particular is SST needs to get off the list. SPY at the moment on the pre-market, it's doing nothing but sell off. We need to see it stay above 440s though. Can't afford to see it drop another 70 basis points. That would be catastrophe. The Nasdaq's where people are. I mean, look at this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 candles in a row on the 30-minute. On the hourly, it's a similar thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9 red candles in a row on the hourly. Damn, that is savage. Yeah, well, I know you lost money on the Nasdaq yesterday, Shando. I think you're probably better off shorting it today, the way it's looking. I'm a long biased, Shinryu. The majority of day traders are long biased. There's a number of reasons for that. One, that's where the volume is. Because the majority of it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. Because the majority of traders are long biased, that itself means that more traders will trade long setups, and as a result of that, that's where the volume is. So more day traders will follow where the volume is. So it's a self-fulfilling prophecy about the long bias. In addition to that, not every broker will allow you to short. Not every broker will allow you to short. Not every stock is available to short. So with CMEG, who I'm trading with at the moment, I would, if it's a liquid stock and there's shares available, then I'll be able to short it, no problem. But a lot of the time, particularly on low cap stocks, if it's just a pop-up on today, then I will have to borrow shares. I'll have to pay a locate fee because they don't have the shares available to start off with, which makes it even more expensive. And that means I have to get bigger swings to the downside to short stock. So if I'm trading more liquid stocks, then the shares are usually a lot more available to short. But my bias is to the long side. Well, every banking system won't create their own system and ditch XRP. I mean, the simple fact is, if every banking system, if every bank creates its own system, then they've got to work with every other bank in terms of interoperability, instead of adopting a single system that allows them that interoperability across networks, across geos. And so that's why they're looking at a single platform or a single utility that will allow them to do that. Well, the markets are open. Let's see what we get. I'll switch the scanners around to the regular market. We've just got the market open. Be careful, guys. Very careful. Looking for a move to the upside. I don't mind watching a few candles form whilst things, because it's been very choppy today. I don't mind watching it settle into a trend. And then we can take advantage of the trend. Right now, we're not getting any change. It's still choppy. The market's open, so welcome to the casino. Still right. Didn't do anything. That's just died. SPFM from yesterday selling off. That's selling off. Everything's selling off at the minute. But it had a bit of a pop and it's selling off. The wider markets, the SPY, the Nasdaq had a bit of a pop and they're selling off. So look at the SPY. Got this sideways range on the Nasdaq. Bit of a pop up and then sell off. So and Big Bear was 50% up. So let's see what the market gives us, because right now it's early doors. We're 5 minutes in. We've still not had anything. 5 minutes in. Let's see what transpires. Actually, Big Bear halted to the downside. That's not good. IVDA. Rejected at 382. I want to see IVDA take the VWAP. Retested its support. Voice is going. Gogo's making a little bit of a move. Just hit the momentum scanner now. Pre-market high of 21.27. We've now got this pullback on Gogo. Look for the next candle to make it. We've got the extension arm, the flagpole. Then we had this pullback here, so it didn't follow through with volume. Right. Give it a little bit of low of this candle is 21.86. Not getting the volume though. Wanted a volume push. 15% up on the day. Really wanted a volume push there. Big one is Advent. I'm just going to get out of this one. So I'm just going to get out of there for a small loss. Why is Advent moving? So Advent Technologies and Hyundai Motor Company enter into technology assessment, sales and development agreement. Terms not disclosed. And that's the dog snoring. It's a very volatile market. I'm just going to wait for a good clean setup right now, because there's nothing. Even Gogo that's just popped up now is climbing. It's not clean. $27. Maybe look for something on the 5-minute setup. ADN is looking interesting. Nothing selling off. Big Bear's selling off. Gogo's retesting highs. Low volume though. That's the problem. It's the lack of volume. 22,000 shares is not my idea of good volume. 79,000 shares. No, I can't trade that. It's not. I'll wait for a good setup right now. Twitter's looking volatile. Let's have a look at Twitter. And on the day, but we've got this opening range now, 50.44. So what I would say is, and we've got this downward range at 49.30. So watch that range, and if it breaks one or the other, you can either short or long it. Very, very choppy market today, guys. Just be very careful. I have day here is 320. This is ADN. Advent Technologies. It's just announced a collaboration with Hyundai, which is why it's moving up now. Oh, our stop is now break even for us on this one. Okay, so we got out for break even on the second 2,500 shares. So now I'll look for the next candle to make a new high on this. Got resistance here at 345 from previous days in mid-March. I have this one is 340. There's not a lot else moving. TCAP's moving up. That's quite a volatile, spready stock normally. Just be very careful, guys. Well, I don't know. Jack, 49.37. If you shorted at 49.37, that's where it's at right now. You got that opening range on the 5-minute opening range candle. You should be shorting it for the break of that opening range. It's too close to the day high, so let's have a quick look through TCAT. Got all of these Chinese stocks popping up now. Don't fake me out. That's just typical. Back up. Break it this time. I got in there for the break of highs and it faked me out. It tapped it and then didn't follow through. Just holding this position. There we go. Add it to the position. Not getting huge range on there, so we can get like 5-10 cents on each candle. We need to a bit of upwards momentum. No. Again. Oh. Three. Not playing ball. Looking for 350. Didn't quite get there. We got to 347, so I was looking for 350. Yeah, I figured Tilray might have a good day today. Only at 14% yet though. Still not high gains. This one's the highest gapper of the day so far. It's 65% up, 66% up. Right. All right, I'm done for the day. I'm done. It's not a good day today. There's not a lot moving. There's not a lot moving on volume. I gave that 10 cents, and it didn't go my way. So we got it, and that's what it is. Some days it doesn't go for you, and some days it does. And today's one of those that the market's just not setting up. I'm just not seeing the movement in the market to profit from. There's no volume. There's the lack of volatility, the lack of volume across the board. It's very choppy sideways. Just be careful if you're trading it. I'll watch it for a little while longer, but it's highly unlikely I'm going to be taking any more trades today. We've had 4 trades and 4 losers, so that's not a good ratio. So I think I'll just no, it's absolutely not a good day for long bias traders. I'll probably just give it a miss and come back tomorrow. We're kind of back to square one on the week. Back to a 10k account. So 1 step forward, 2 steps backwards. Get a setup on the five minute maybe. It's a very difficult market to trade at the moment, guys. Just be careful out there. You're a red to green on SBFM. Yeah, I'm done. £2.5 grand down. That's me done for the day. Oracle. It's 82 cents. Sorry, 82 cents. $82. So I don't see where you're getting the value from. It's been trading sideways. Unless you know something I don't. It's been quite rangy, sideways rangy. Oh, 82 if you like Oracle. You know, I don't like Oracle as a company because I know what they're like with their employees. It's a bit of a revolving door. They don't treat their employees very well. Oh, but that's a different kettle of fish. Yeah, that's me done. Oh well, I think I'm going to take the dog for a walk. Yeah, I know you heard me say the word. I know you heard me say the word, darling. I'll take you in a minute, okay? Let's finish this stream and then... yeah, it was. I think you need to change your deodorant, El Puno. Look, it's a difficult market. I'm going to wait to see what happens. If it kind of starts to move one way or the other, it's very sideways across the board. There's not a lot of volume. There is on ADN, but ADN right now is, again, it's very sideways. It's very choppy. Just be careful out there, guys. I'm gonna give it a rest now and you know, come back tomorrow. Hopefully we'll all have a better day tomorrow. Okay? Take care, guys.